Hello, everybody.
Hi there.
We haven't talked to you in a while, but this is Dirty Laundry with Chris and Karen.
I hope you're all doing well. It's staying dry.
That's impossible.
I know.
Man, just raining. And then every once in a while, the sun will come out. Like I'll open my eyes and I can almost feel the sun coming through my eyes.
It.
I go,
Oh, what is that?
I better run out. There's some blue out there. So what's our topic today?
So today we're going to talk about intuition, which I love this topic.
Yeah, there's a lot to say
There is a lot to say. And Karen, you turned me on to the documentary on Netflix.
And what's the name of that?
Oh my goodness. I'm going to say it's INSAE or INC. It's
Spell it.
Okay, it's capital INN, capital SAEI.
Very good. Very good movie.
Super, super, super good. And it's all about intuition and developing your intuition. And they actually look at it in a very scientific way, too. Right brain, left brain. And it gets very detailed, I think, about that.
I would have liked them to go into it even more. Like I almost felt like it didn't delve enough into it. But I loved... Well, you'll probably say something about it, but that there was that little boy. Oh, maybe he was 12
at the end of the school.
Yeah,
I don't even think he was that old.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I know.
They were talking about how he used to be really angry. Remember that? And what was it that made him? Oh, they started doing, and I started crying when I watched this because. In the school, they have the kids sitting in a circle on the floor, and they talk about their feelings and they meditate.
Yeah, and they have quiet times and kind of really go within themselves and think. I don't know if you caught it, that I think there were 10 schools sort of like that around the world.
Right.
Because it showed, I think there was one in Africa. That one happened to be in England, I believe. Norway. I mean, they're all over the place.
It's probably not America.
No, I don't
We're
know.
too good for that.
He was like that, which I thought was fascinating because he was too rough with the other kids, if you remember that. And so they kind of alienated him because he was hurting them.
Yeah.
Because he watched too many video games.
Yeah.
And he kind of was in that world and he treated people like the video game characters. So he was like, pow, pow, and so they kind of, through meditation and thinking about his feelings and thinking about his surroundings, and a lot of it was getting in tune with nature.
Yeah, he totally changed.
And what I loved about it was he was changing his father.
I know.
He was making his father more aware.
It was really beautiful, and I loved this one where he was sitting next to his brother. And if you hear chomping...
That's not us.
It's not us.
It's our dog.
And we don't chew bone.
Sorry.
But he was talking about his brother. And he says, and one day I left the room and my brother totally smashed my favorite, some toy.
Oh, it was his birthday present.
Yeah. And a couple of things. And he came back in and he says, I was so upset I had to ask him to please leave. And it took me a few minutes.
I know.
A few minutes? Oh, like talk to me in a month. A few minutes. And then he's like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. He was just amazing. Amazing. I just loved that.
Yeah, it was really beautiful.
I loved it. And the whole video game thing, too, I thought was really cool. So I don't know if I got this now, because I got so into it. I watched it twice, and then I went online, and let me see if I can find I loved this. And I don't know if I got it from the documentary or not, but wisdom has been replaced by knowledge by data.
Oh, that's great. I
So-
think I wrote that one down too.
Did you? So, because
Yeah.
they were talking about we used to just intuitively know things. And now, and I'm guilty of this, it's sometimes you take the shortcut, well, I'll Google it
Yeah.
or I'll look it up, instead of figuring it out for yourself.
Yeah. And Googling doesn't, when you Google, how do you know that you're getting
Oh, you don't?
proper information?
You don't.
You can only use that as a way of asking more questions. But I really think that we've gotten away, I know we've gotten far away from our intuition.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
gotten far away from listening or even acknowledging our gut reactions, that first thing that comes up in us. And how many people have said, it was always my first feeling that was right. And then your brain comes into it and it goes, oh, well, but what about?
Yeah.
And it can completely talk you out of it.
Yeah. Bellucci, knock it off. Sorry, my dog's really going to that bone. Intuitively, he must chew.
He's going down to the marrow.
So the definition of intuition is the ability to understand something immediately without the need for conscious reasoning, which is what you just said.
Yeah, and that's a
basically.
great way to know if it's intuitive, is when it's immediate. I like to say that for the most part, and I might have said this, we use our brains all the time, when in fact we should be using our guts. We don't need to be thinking all the time. We're using our electrical system too much and not relying on our heart and that deeper knowledge that's in all of us. And we have taught ourselves not to trust
To ignore
or
it.
listen. Yeah.
To ignore it. And to make it strong, you have to practice it.
Yeah.
You have to practice it. You have to listen to that, we'll call it a voice, but not the one in your head.
Yeah, not the. So how do you hear? How do you know how to hear and listen for that deep place instead of it being from your brain?
Well, I don't know, but I think it's like a muscle.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to strengthen it. You have to practice it like with weights. You do, the more you lift, the more you do it, the bigger, the stronger your muscle becomes. And I think intuition is like that too. If you're going to rely on Googling or data or what other people say or everything but your own gut, you're going to lose it.
Right. And who can tell you about your life?
Right.
Nobody can tell us about that. And I think that dreams are really important for that as well. Dreams can be very intuitive. That's always been my main thing. I mean, I've had times of incredible intuition where I'm like, I felt like I was watching this happening.
Wow.
And I'll tell you the story sometime. Well, maybe I'll include it, but it was weird and I had no control. It's not, how you hear people who they can control and get into a feeling or just really go there. I can't do that. It just either happens or it doesn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, I don't know if you've ever met someone who can't make up their mind about stuff. They can't make a decision.
Yeah.
To me, that's a total lack of intuition.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about little things like, what am I going to eat today? I'm talking about major life stuff where they just can't and they have to like ask everybody they know, what should I do? Should I do this or should I do that? Or what do you think? There's no intuition.
I've had a few of those where, especially in the last year and a half, I really feel like my intuition has gotten better. But I still come up to these times where I really don't know what the answer
right.
is.
Well, everybody's going to have them once in a while.
Yeah.
We're not Merlin the magician.
We're not. Well,
But I totally known people who cannot make up their mind about any life, decision that's important. And they have to ask everybody they know, and they have to take a poll. And I'm thinking, just be quiet with it and really feel it.
Yeah.
But they've lost that ability. And
Right.
what I thought was interesting on the documentary was that's really prevalent now, that people are losing that total ability to be intuitive because of all our devices.
Right. Yeah. We're not how can we be intuitive when we're constantly communicating and with words? And intuition is not words.
No.
It's a knowledge. It's a wiseness that comes from the body. And I look at it like women have given birth in their homes for like how many thousands of years. But then doctors came along and said, oh, well, you can't give birth at home.
Thank God. Give me the drugs. No, I'm sorry. Go on.
Well, that's another subject. But part of it is the medical establishment. It's like, yes, we need that. We absolutely need the medical establishment. But our bodies are wiser than anybody. And of course there are those things you come up against. You go, well, I don't know what's going on. But for the most part, we know. But we don't want to have to do what it takes to take care of that. We want instant gratification. And words are instant gratification.
Oh, yeah.
And I think sometimes it requires that there's no answer. Sometimes it requires that, like, when you're struggling for something, instead of like, I need to know an answer right this moment, the answer is no. You have to wait until you're quiet, until you can let go of all those things going on in your head, so that you can really come to a place of no words. And in the no words are
You'll feel
action.
it.
Yeah.
You'll feel it. I love the thing about I have to read this one though, because I thought it was fascinating. The Polynesians, do you remember this?
I loved that.
Navigated the Pacific without tools. And they passed it in, and this is like in dugout canoes. And they passed it on for generations. So they traveled uncharted oceans. Uncharted.
Yeah.
Yeah, with no tools, nothing. And it became part of their collective unconscious.
Yeah, and they passed that along, and they read the ocean, they read the sky. They could feel it. They knew where they were going.
Just blown away.
In an ocean.
That just...
Yeah,
I'm jealous. I have no sense of direction at all. That's where I totally am lacking.
Yeah.
And I think when I'm sure you've been hiking with someone who they just know where they're at. I mean, they know where they're at all the time. They can look around them and go, oh, I feel like, let's go this way. We came from,
Yeah.
I'm lost all the time.
Well, I would
out in
say either
something
follow
like
the
that.
sound of the ocean, follow the water, or follow the highway. Or the sun.
Yeah, but you
if
can be
yours-
in the middle of the woods or in the middle of the desert or, and some
that's
people
true.
that's just, they just are born with, that's intuition.
Yeah.
Sense of direction is some
It's-
kind of
It's your
intuition.
compass.
Yeah, I do not have that.
Well, I'm not going on a trip with you.
I do not have that at all.
Turn left. No.
I always tell my partner, if I say turn left, then you should turn right. And then if he does listen to me, I go, why'd you listen to me? I told you. Don't go that way. Oh my God.
And then if he does turn right, you go, oh, so you don't trust me.
Right. So another reason I thought was fascinating that they said they feel that people are less intuitive is because there's not quiet. There's not as much quiet. We're listening to music. We have, or TV or our computer, we have screens on. And we'll say practice being intuitive, you have to be quiet and you have to listen to yourself.
That's a scary thing for most.
What, being quiet and not having any?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I really kind of want to get to where I let people know, if you want to communicate with me, if it's dire, call me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to undo the text thing and keep my computer. I like to listen to music every once in a while, but I like the sound of nothing, too.
Yeah.
And being able to hear the birds. And
Well, just think about like kids nowadays. That those little kids nowadays,
those young whippersnappers.
but they have screens around them all the time. So, and if you're in your car, you have a GPS. If you're out in the woods, you have a GPS. If you're high, they have all these gadgets and things. And
what are we going to do when the electricity goes?
I
or
know.
the satellites get blasted out of the sky.
I know.
We were in Green Salmon the other day, and this woman put her child down with the phone, and this kid's like 3 and playing this loud game, and I turn around because it was really annoying, and so she goes to take it away from the kid, and the kid's screaming, and she had to take her out. But yeah, that's everybody's hooked up.
Yeah, and with more and more and more and more and more people in the world, you kind of have to be intuitive about the people you meet.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird. Living here, we have a lot of people that are just coming through, and either they're just running out of gas. We had one the other day. Or they're backpacking in and they have no money, and because we live next door to a church, and they help out a lot, but they're not there very much. So if I'm out in the yard, I run into these people, and I really trust my intuition.
You have to.
On that. You know, I want to help everybody. I want to give everybody food and do what I can do, but you know, not everybody has good intentions.
Yeah.
I don't want to live in fear. I don't live in fear. But you have to rely on your intuition.
Yeah, what else do you have? It's not like you can say, can I please see your resume before I talk to you? So we are at like our halfway point.
Oh, well, do you want to tell them about our email that nobody uses?
That nobody uses. Yeah, I haven't even checked it. So it's Dirty Laundry, Chris and Karen at gmail.com.
Right. And
again, that's
Dirty Laundry, Chris and Karen at gmail.com. And you can also comment below.
And we always post this is me squirming in my seat. We also post it on our Facebook, and we have a YouTube. So you can go to our Facebook page, or you can go to us individually, and you can click onto it, and it'll go to the YouTube site. And you'll kind of see us, kind of not. We take great photos.
Oh, yeah. So here's a few tips on how to improve your intuitive powers.
I like that.
Okay, and I got this online, and I didn't write down where. So listen to your inner voice. That means, take time for solitude. You can't recognize intuition above the noise, which we just talked about. Be observant. Look around you. Pay attention. Be in nature.
Nature is it's non-judgmental.
Right. And watch the animals. See how intuitive they are.
Watch some birds fly.
Right.
And then switch directions.
It's amazing. I know.
Do they go left, right? I mean, really.
I'm the leader this time. I always wonder about that.
Well, the geese are like,
let's see, what was the other thing? Learn to tune into your body. Trust your gut feelings, which Karen already said. Learn from the past. That's the best. Learn from the past.
But don't be afraid because of the past.
No, but if you have experienced the same thing over and over because of maybe a bad decision that you made, then your intuition should kick in and say, okay, that didn't work. Let's not do this again.
Homie, don't play that.
Right. That's your gut telling you.
Wow. I'd never move again.
But it's true. A lot of
true.
people just do the same thing.
Yeah. Or get stuck in the same kind of relationship. And I hear that from women a lot. That would be another good show, because a lot of women talk about, and maybe men do too, but a lot of men don't really discuss it, that they keep going to the same kind of person. They keep finding the same kind of person in another
form.
Yeah.
And male or female, they'll say, oh, you know, in the beginning, I kind of had a sense, or I had a feeling I should have listened to that.
Yeah.
And they didn't. So
because they
turn, it's like turning off the dial.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to.
You don't want to believe that.
Right.
And you want to think that, oh, it's different this time. Oh, they would never do that. I can't imagine that would happen.
And then we talked about this the other day. Practice sensing into people before you know them. That means, you know, when you meet someone new and they're walking towards you, and you might we all do, we're humans, you make a snap judgment by the way they look or what they have on. Well, it is how they look then, isn't it? What they have on, or how they're walking, or the color of their hair. So hold on to that, and then talk to them, get to know them. Maybe they're a friend of yours, and then see how close you were.
Mm-hmm. Was your
intuition correct?
And were you even using your intuition? A lot of times that's your judgment.
Right. Well, that's what I said. Everybody has that initial, it's like a second or 2 seconds of, you see this person and you're going to think that. But, you know, throw that away and then go with your gut, and then see if you were right about that.
Yeah. Years ago, I was going through, this was a really long time ago, I was having a really hard time in my life, and I went to one of those psychic bookstores, and I wanted to get a set of cards, like
animal spirit cards?
Yeah, I wasn't sure. One of them that I was interested in was a Native American deck, and one was a Yogi deck. Mm-hmm. And so I decided to pick a card from each of them, because I had narrowed it down to those two. And the one that I carry with me the most, even though I didn't get that deck, was the Native American. And it was a bird, a hawk, flying over this very large landscape of open land and mountains. And my immediate feeling was, survey your surroundings.
Oh, yeah.
And it was so powerful to me.
Yeah.
And I use it all the time. And I ask myself, am I surveying my surroundings? Mm-hmm. Can I step back away from this without my judgment?
I love that.
Yeah, without my words. Can I see it without the word?
Mm-hmm.
See it for what it is. Because we get so caught in the word.
Mm-hmm.
We're so used to identifying everything that we don't even see it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I remember a long time ago driving, and I looked out the window. I was a passenger, and there was this hill, and I took the name away, and I saw it. I mean, it was really powerful because it was the earth. It was alive. I felt its aliveness. And the earth is alive, but we're so used to looking at, we say a rock is an inanimate object. Well, not really.
No.
It doesn't move the way that we can move.
Because it's moving so slow.
Yeah.
It takes lifetimes and lifetimes, and
Right.
we can't. Yeah, but you can feel it.
You can definitely feel it. I mean, the strength of what's on the earth, the trees and, you know, the things that do move, that doesn't make the things that don't move immovable. Rocks
One
move.
time I just thought of this years and years ago. I had a friend that lived in Oaxaca, Mexico, and I wish I could remember the name of the ruins. You can see it from the city up in the hills, and it's pyramids, and, you know, it's pretty touristy and stuff, but it's gorgeous. So we go up there. It's a beautiful sunshiny day, and we're up there, and she goes, take off your shoes. And I went, okay. She goes, you're not going to believe this. You can feel everything that went on here. And I did, and we just stood there. Our other friend Tom thought we were total idiots, but
So much for him.
yeah, he's not my friend anymore. No. No, but you could feel the energy. You could feel the thousands of people that it took to build the pyramid. You could feel, you know how the Mayans had those games where they died? I mean, they'd be headed, you know. We were by one of their old arenas. You could feel it, you know. And the whole place was so alive with all of that. And you look around and it makes you just more aware of your surroundings beyond the ruins.
Yeah.
You know, and it was funny because the guy we were with, our friend, he was like, I can't feel anything. I can't feel anything. I said, shut up. Quit talking. Be quiet. Go over there and do it, you know. But it's like that.
It's grounding. I mean,
Yeah.
they call that grounding. And it really is.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I felt like it almost knocked me off my feet.
You know,
was
it's
crazy.
interesting because in this world, very few of us walk where we touch our feet
To the ground. I know.
Where the earth is pretty much covered in cement, unless you go to the beach and, you know, take off your shoes or, you know, I don't know that I would walk through the forest barefoot.
No.
but we don't touch the ground. So how can we really feel? The earth has so much wisdom. We're getting a portion of it, but I think it's really important to take that time, and even if it's for just a few minutes, to just ground yourself to the earth. Literally grounding.
Right. And
Yeah,
then
that's
you
a
take
beautiful
on
story.
that power
Yeah.
and use it.
You are that power.
Right. Right.
You've got a lock on,
Right.
you know, there's no energy transference because you've got cement, you've got wood, you've got your shoes, you've got your socks, and your brain.
Yeah. No, you have to feel it and just let it flow and trust it. Trust. You have to
Yeah.
trust it.
Yeah.
And you might be wrong a few times. Nobody's right all the time. Not
No.
even me.
Well, God, I'm really disappointed.
But the
Christine.
more you trust it, the more it flows, the more it grows, and your odds get better too.
It's true. And I like what you said. It's a muscle. You have to learn, you have to use it. Like just if you go to the gym, your muscles are going to get stronger when you do it. And so every day, if you just take even a few minutes to, you can call it whatever you want. Try and let go of the words and see what comes.
Just sit quiet.
Yeah. Pay attention.
You know, you don't have to call it meditation or anything. Just sit quiet with yourself. And if you can do it outside,
Yeah,
even if
that's
it's
the
your
best.
front yard,
Yeah.
but just do it. Just go outside and do it and just be quiet and turn off the music, turn off the sounds around you and just listen.
Yeah.
And listen to your body. Trust your body. That's
the key.
the key. It certainly is. Yeah. I wish they would teach classes like that here. I don't know if there's anything like that in the United States.
Like a mindfulness.
Yeah.
I know there's a meditation group that happens here.
For children?
Oh, no.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
For children.
Yeah, that would be really important.
That would cut down on the violence
Oh, without a doubt.
so much. They don't have to call it meditation either because some religions are offended by that because they think it's a religious thing, just like they think yoga is too, which I don't get, but off the subject there. But just teach kids and start when they're really young, just how to be quiet and look within themselves.
Yeah. And I think everybody, we're at the end here, but I do want to just say that, well, I can't remember. So I'm just, I have to take my ginkgo. I can't remember. I guess it wasn't important.
Does your intuition tell you that it wasn't important?
My intuition is saying, let it go.
No, I think more than anything with people, I use it more than anything, you know.
Yeah, I think you're pretty good at it.
Especially if you're a single person, you should hone it a little bit.
I think I've gotten better, especially when it comes to new people I meet, that, I can more easily know faster whether, it's going in the right direction or it's a direction I want to go.
And working with the public too, you just learn that. You get to the point where you could tell by hearing somebody's voice on the phone.
Absolutely.
What is going to happen when you meet them.
Go into retail.
Yeah. A restaurant. That's the worst. Yeah. Really. That's a really good way to hone that. Yeah. And if you have little kids at home, make them be quiet.
Oh, yeah. Good luck on that.
Throw them in the trunk of the car.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Kidding.
You should see her face. She's not kidding. So thank you for listening. And our beginning and ending of our music is always Moby. So we want to thank Moby for letting people use his music for free.
And any monies that he does make go to Mercy for Animals, which is a really amazing organization. So thank you, Moby.
Yeah. And if you have any suggestions for other things to talk about, we would love to hear them, although we're not expecting you.
No expectations. But
my intuition says that
it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Peace.
And love.
And love.